Here is that when Muhammad said he wanted to be martyred, he was clearly talking about dying in battle, not about being poisoned and feeling Allah severing his aorta. Putting all of this together, we have at least 10 reasons to reject Islam just by examining how Muhammad died. If we look at how Muhammad lived, of course, we have another trillion or so reasons to conclude that he's the most obvious false prophet in history. But how do Muslims respond to the fact that their prophet died exactly how Allah said he would die if he was fabricating revelations? Well, most Muslims never have to respond because they don't know about any of this. They don't know what Allah said in Surah 69. They don't know what's in Bukhari. They don't know what's in Sahih Muslim. They don't know what's in Sunan Abu Dawud. They don't know what's in Tabari. They don't know what's in Ibn. Their leaders hide this from them. You can line up 1,000 Muslims and ask them about their prophet being poisoned and complaining about his aorta being severed. And if even one Muslim in 1,000 knows about this, it's because he heard it from me. Under no circumstances did he hear this from his sheikhs and imams. Imagine a religion where the followers of the religion only learn the truth about the prophet of the religion from people who don't follow the religion, because the scholars of the religion keep the followers of the religion in a state of ignorance. Now, when Muslims do hear about this, again, always from us, they only have basic responses. One, they say that Muhammad couldn't have died from the poison because he died 3 years after he was poisoned. They say, ha ha, what kind of idiot thinks that a person can die 3 years after he swallows some poison? And that's when we point out that their prophet was the one who said he was dying from the poison. Muhammad said to Bishr's mom during the illness from which he died, "At this very moment I feel my aorta being severed because of the food I ate with your son at Khaybar." So, if it's stupid and idiotic and moronic to think that a person can die 3 years after swallowing some poison, then Muhammad is the stupid, idiotic moron here. Never forget, no one insults Muhammad like his followers do. The other problem with this response is that various poisons can kill you years after you swallow them. Ask any doctor. Let's say that 1 gram of some poison is enough to kill you quickly. What if you take a little less than 1 gram? Well, it might cause internal damage to your palate, esophagus, and organs. You might survive a long time with this internal damage, but you can eventually die from the complications. So, when Muslims say it makes no sense for Muhammad to survive 3 years after eating poison, they're contradicting science and their own prophet. 2, and this is going to sound insanely stupid, but I assure you it's one of their main responses. Muslims point out that there are 2 different words for the aorta in these passages. And it's the same in English. In English, we can call it the aorta or the life artery. But Muslims will claim that since these passages use 2 different words for aorta, Muhammad saying that he could feel his aorta being severed has nothing to do with Allah saying that he would sever Muhammad's aorta for fabricating revelations. Why is this ridiculous? Well, suppose I announce to the world that I'm a prophet. One day I say, "If I'm lying, God will strike me down by drowning me in a pool of H2O. Then years later, as I'm drowning in a pool, I say, "Oh no, I'm drowning in a pool of water." My critics would obviously say that's exactly what David said would happen if he was a false prophet. Imagine my followers replying, "Not at all. This proves nothing. David said he would die in a pool of H2O, but he died in a pool of water. These are 2 different terms for water, so it's not the same thing." But it is the same thing. Allah said that he would sever Muhammad's aorta for fabricating revelations. Muhammad died saying that he could feel his aorta being severed. That's a problem. Deal with it.